Thank you again for joining us. Today we're going to be talking about 20 grand cars driving to Wales. So
That's the one.
reason we're covering this is a number of things. So one, we will be covering Wales as we said before in a trip, but also Ben, did I ever tell you that I did a skinflint rally to Wales for charity?
You did. You said it was an absolute hoot to do. Yeah.
Yeah, Ford Mondeo with what reg was it? W reg with a giant pork pie on top, and me and four, and we're all large guys in the car scooting around. Raised a couple of grand, I think like 6 grand for charity, and it was, I think, one of the best weekends I've had in the UK.
Nice.
Was absolutely mental. Good thing was a WH Ford Mondeo. Two of the guys in the van, in the car were mechanics, so that was useful. I did rip the rear bonnet off doing a 3-point turn, but they had duct tape and cable ties to fix everything that went wrong.
That's all you need.
It's all you need. So that was great. And as much as it was fun, because at the time I had an automatic, so driving a manual 2-litre, even though it was a giant boat, even though it's not the best driving car, it was just nice to get out and just absolutely hoon it down the lanes. And when it's not your car and you've got two mechanics, it always goes faster.
Always. They say the fastest car on earth is a rental, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, it's like that Ford Mustang that I rented off Turo. That was a lot of fun. And again, it's very different from test driving a car where someone's next to you versus, hey, thanks for the keys. I'll be careful because I know he watches this. And he's also got a Fiat Abarth that I want to borrow off him at some point through Turo. So I suppose let's get into the nuts and cranny bit. What car are you talking about first with your 20k budget?
So my first choice for a car, 20k budget, Wales, a road trip, weekend road trip in Wales. I'd get this one. So this is a Nissan 370Z. I have a soft spot for V6s. This one has a V6. It's a semi-auto, but you can play with the flappy paddles if you want to. I really like the look of those cars. I like the 350, never driven it. I like the 370, and I just love the velvety sound of V6. And it's 15 grand.
Is that for non-modded? A non-modded one?
Non-modded. I had a look, to be honest, at the 350Z, and good luck finding one untouched, unspoiled.
I went to Letchworth once with my dad.
Yeah.
And I was looking at a different car, but the guy was just trying to get me into this to test drive the 350. My dad's 6'3", I'm 6 foot. My dad didn't fit, so my dad went, just go off on your own. And it was heavily modded, and ropey as hell, but absolutely fun. And afterwards he's like, what do you think? I went, oh, it's great. I won't want it, but it's great.
That's
with the Alpine head unit, modified Alpine head unit, as you have to do with a Japanese car. Did you go Alpine when you were younger, or did you go Sony or Pioneer?
I was a Pioneer guy.
You're a Pioneer guy, right? Yeah, I had a bit of money, so I went Alpine.
So that's my first choice. What's yours?
Oh, that's good. I'm thinking, which one am I going to go? I'll go for what I'd actually go if I had to put money in and I had to go and buy it. Okay, yeah. And I quite like these. I like a Golf GTI. You can get what I'm going to say a fairly new one for that. It's like a 17 plate. I know it's not new, but for the cars I'm going to show you later. But something like a limited edition, like the Club Sport edition. So 265 horsepower, front wheel drive only. DSG for this particular one, because I think the DSGs are quick enough to have fun with. And I kind of feel with how narrow the roads are, getting there, obviously potentially bringing family with me, I do love a GTI. I don't know why, I like a GTI more than a Golf R for no apparent reason. But I just...
that's different. That's the OG, isn't it? That's the OG. I, I love a good GTI. I've been in a Mark II, a Mark III, a Mark IV,
Okay.
and a Mark V. I love that. I've never owned them, but yeah, Golf GTI is a solid. It's a solid choice, isn't it? It's a hot hatch. It's something you can take. You can go and pick up your girl
Yeah.
from the parents on the date, and the parents are not going to look at you like,
But
oh, boy racer.
Here's the funny thing, right? Would you ever go for a two-door Golf or a Sirocco? Because they've got the same practicality, but the Sirocco's got a way better interior and boost gauge. You've got to have a boost gauge.
It's not about the boost gauge. I love the look of a Sirocco, I have to say. And have you noticed how they just disappeared from the road?
Yeah, just
A couple
overnight.
years ago, they were all over the place, and now you can't see a single one of them. Oh, that's a tough one. I do like a hot hatch. I do like a small car. I think it's 65% in favor of the Golf, but yeah, it's a
Okay.
type of maybe 60-40, yeah.
See, I also like the rarity of a Sirocco, like because they're not all over the place. Maybe.
Yeah. They've disappeared. It's a beautiful car.
Yeah.
But again, the last few ones I've seen, slammed, cambered, exhaust pipe like that at the back, pop and bang remap, just ruined.
I've got someone called Pashtun Salami that wants to co-host, but I'm just going to ignore him for the moment. Sorry for everyone out there, but try and keep people from the UK if that's okay. Cool. So that's the first one. About your next one?
Ooh, I'm going to go with this one, which is a BRZ. So 2-liter BRZ manual. Good honest car. One of the last true cheap sports car, really. It's an MX-5 with a roof. And I went with a Subaru rather than the
I was going to say,
Toyota.
why didn't you go for the Toyota?
I think at some point, depending on the production year, they had some issues with the engines, and it looked like the guys at Toyota bungled the repairs.
Okay.
It's Toyota and Subaru made the car together, but it's got a Subaru engine. And
Have you been in one?
So I've been in one as a passenger. I haven't driven one. It hit me as it's similar to the RX-8 in terms of no power at all at the bottom. It's all up in the rev range, so you need to roll through those gears. You need to rev it. I know you're not a fan of it because you need, with the skinny tires, but put some nice sticky tires on, and it's a good handling car.
That's the bit I didn't understand. It was to try and, let's say, go not superly fast but quickly round roundabouts. Why would you want your back end skidding out? Like, I don't get that. And I went for a test drive in one, and I can't admit I didn't love it. It was gear change was really nice. The sound was nice because there's not that many cars that actually sound nice for 2-liter. But and I like the idea of it. I just give me a 2-liter turbo hot hatch.
You love your turbos. I'm not bothered with the turbos.
I'm gonna say I would have a Leon FR over a because I don't know if I ever told you that I won a car, but I won a car once through all things. So my speciality is not football, and I won it through football. I'll tell you the story quickly. So won a car, had a company car scheme, and because I had a Seat Exeo, if you ever remember Zeos back in the day, which was like the Audi A4 but Seat equivalent.
Okay.
So they were pushing them out, so it's cheap on company car scheme. Had one of them, so I signed up to Seat to get all the merch as you do. They were hosting the Europa League. Did some reverse betting on football matches with my points that you get. So I hadn't got a clue what was happening, so I went to Betfred to see who would be winning. Won a football that I was kicking around and later found out it was the official ball worth about 120 quid. And then they phoned me up and said, "Oh, you're sitting down, sir. You've got a free car." I'm like, "Oh, is it free for the first 6 months? Is it free deposit? Is it interest free?" And they're like, "No, it's free. Phone the wife up. This is when I had the RX. I just sold the RX-8. Had no car because I was travelling into London. So go pick car up. Press team are there. lady taller than me, so I'm 6 foot, and I'm looking like a kid holding my hand out, dropping the keys into it, and I still don't know where that picture is, but it's hilarious. So I got the car. It was a little Seat Leon Copra, which is like a 1.2 turbo supercharged thing. Ran it round for a little bit, but Mrs. put like 500 miles on it in about 2 weeks going to Cornwall and back. I thought, oh, wonder what it's worth. Took it to Letchworth. Letchworth went, oh, if you want to part exit it, we forgot about a Seat Leon 2-litre FR out the back. It's 3 years old. It's got 20 miles on the clock.
Jesus.
So it's basically brand new. We'll give you that car plus 2 years warranty and $4,000. So I'm like, okay, I'll get our 1.2 into a 2-litre turbo. I'll end up having $4,000. I was getting married at the time as well. And I was like, win-win. And I got to admit, that car was I didn't pay for it. I just felt like it's a freebie, and I could just rag it around.
Cash on it.
So yeah, that's my story of Leon FR. So I suppose it's probably equivalent to the GTI, I suppose. But
so you'd go for the Leon FR again, yeah.
So my next one. So I do love a convertible. I think we all know this by now. See if anyone can guess what this is going to be. So it's a H-Reg, okay, and it's a Porsche 944. So one of my best mates' parents had a 944 and a 924 in their garage, and I always thought it was special. And I think if you get the right paint job, I think the convertible doesn't look as sexy as the hardtop, but hey, I like a convertible, and I think you'd have to keep it covered because it would leak. I think one of them around Wales, because those cars are very petite. So I think round the little roads, manual gearbox, Porsche. Do you know how much horsepower they had?
Not a lot.
Yeah, I thought not a lot, but 210. So for,
that's not bad for the time.
Yeah, 3 litre, 1991. So my wife was 1 year old. Yeah, so I think
mine was born the year after.
Yeah, so can you imagine? It's literally like 210 horsepower back then.
It was a lot of power. I think we got drunk, nowadays. People are obsessed with figures and power output and things like that. And if you don't have a hot hatch with 350 horsepower, they're not happy. And you're like, Jesus. 300 horsepower, even 15 years ago, it was supercar territory. You needed a Ferrari to get to those figures. Golf GTI,
but 96
Golf Mark 5 GTI is 200 horsepower, and everyone was like, "Oh my god!" Like, wow.
Yeah, but that's like 20 years later.
Yeah. So 200 horsepower in early 90s was a lot of power. Yeah.
So I'm going to guess that you've probably got a Porsche as well lined up with a 20 grand limit.
Unfortunately. So if you remember the previous one, our Peak District video, I had a Porsche Cayman.
Yep.
And you asked me why not the Boxster. The reason is I had a Boxster lined up for this road trip, which is the Wales road trip. So yellow because midlife crisis. So this is the car. It's a Boxster S.
Okay, cool. Yeah.
Yeah, and I've taken the Porsche experts are going to kill me. I've taken the one, I don't remember the generation, but the one with the scrambled egg headlights.
Yeah.
They are less desirable. So Porsche purists don't go for those. Be it the Boxster or the 911. The generation with a scrambled egg headlight, they don't like them.
Well, apart from the turbos are now going up in price on those.
Yeah, it's starting now, yes. But it means you can still get one of those cars for a very good price. The prices haven't gone through the roof yet, which is why I went for that. So Porsche and Porsche.
Manual, auto?
This one, manual.
Perfect. Yeah, that makes sense. And I think, on a round Wales in a, well, I think in any Porsche would be okay. But yeah. But also, I suppose the good thing about them is you could just leave them anyway. You don't worry about them getting scratched and damaged and stuff like that. And there's enough specialists to get spare parts and stuff.
And those older Porsche are not as big. I don't know if you've noticed how wide a new Porsche 911 is. well, like all new
Oh, that's
cars.
why I haven't got one in
That's
my garage. It just won't fit through the doors.
why
I
it
mean,
doesn't fit
yeah,
next to the desk.
yeah. So I had to swap it for some push bikes and a lawnmower. Just needs must.
They've become humongous, and those older generations are a little bit more compact, which I like. So
So,
what's your bonus car?
oh, I've got two. I'm now thinking, why did I have so
Ooh,
many cars? So, I'll I'll go for I'll go for both really quickly. So,
go on.
actually, no, I'm going to save that one for another tour. I'm going to save that one for another tour, and I'm going to talk about. I found this, okay, and this is for everyone that's on TikTok. A Mercedes Benz.
Mhm.
Okay, this is one of these cars that I would like to have for the weekend, not own. Okay,
Okay.
and I'm thinking Wales, rugged. I remember some of the roads that I went on were a little bit off track, and I'm like, I do love an SUV. I found a
Yeah.
G wagon for 20 grand with it's a 3 litre engine. Okay. Let me just double check the performance because I think it's got 88 horsepower. But it's a G wagon. And it's old. It's 1989. It's got 93,000 miles on the clock, and I'm like, you know what? How cool to be gangster rocking around Wales in a 20 grand G wagon.
Hey,
I mean, if you're going somewhere and Wales is round and you can't go that fast, brilliant. But also, if you're doing 30, you'll think you'll be doing 300.
oh yeah, you put those spinning, hubcaps, and then yeah. Well, I mean, I think, has they ever been used as off-road cars? Has anyone ever taken one off-road?
Yeah, I reckon they have. I mean,
You think?
yeah. Probably to park up somewhere at a posh place where you to get some
Mm,
croissant.
yeah, a 20-pound crossover. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I mean the iconic car. You can't deny that. The G wagon is
I
still
I think
desirable.
I think it'd be fun, and again, it's got a massive boot, so again, you could just open it up, sit, look at the countryside, and
Yeah.
so that's my wacky one.
Hey, well, my bonus car is this one. So it's a 1994 Toyota Celica GT4.
Have to get Japanese in there somewhere, don't you?
Had to. So that's, to be honest, that's the third Japanese in the selection. But yeah, that's the Mark 6. So I had two Mark 5s. That's the Mark 6. I had a look at the Mark 5 GT4.
Yeah.
They're getting out of price,
I was going to say,
unfortunately.
are they creeping up now?
Yeah. Especially if you start looking for the Carlos Sainz limited edition and things like that. So the Mark 6 for 20 grand, you can get a good unspoiled one. And I just love the look of them. 220 horsepower,
Decent.
just for you. Old school turbo with a lot of lag.
So they got a bit of torque, so they can get around the corner and just pull.
What's that?
Yeah, what's that torque?
Four-wheel drive to compensate for my lack of driving skills. So perfect.
Yeah, no, that's quite a cool car. And so here's a question: out of all of those cars that you picked so far,
Yep.
your own money, you have to keep it. Which one are you picking?
Oh, that'd be, and they are quite opposite. That'd be between the GT4 and the BRZ. I just love the
Right.
Toyota Celicas.
I mean, it'd be nice
And
to. I mean, if you got the BRZ, it'd be nice to own a car that's reliable and modern, wouldn't it? I mean, like it's got DAB. It's.
What's that?
I can get
Um,
when I get insurance on it. I go, it's this, and they go, oh, we found your car, sir. Thank you.
Hey, the GT4's got an electric aerial. You know, when you start the car, you just pop to the back.
Zzz.
Yeah.
Oh, I missed it. Well, if it's still working, that is. Yeah, no, that's for your AM and FM.
Yeah.
So go on, point right. So you get rid of your RX-8. Which one are you going for? If so, it's not an because I take it if you had to have it with your RX-8, you might as well just I don't know what you'd go for. But if it had to be your sole car, you'd have to go BRZ, wouldn't you?
Yeah, they're similar. And the BRZ will end up costing me less maintenance-wise than the GT4.
Yeah.
You watch JM on cars. He has a GT4 Mark 6, and he has an episode. He talks through what it's cost him, and it's eye-watering. It's good to have a vintage car, a classic one, but classic cars are not cheap.
Yeah.
So I would probably go for the BRZ. That's, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, for myself, it'd be, if I had to have an extra car, I'd go for the Porsche.
Nice.
But if I had to replace one of my cars, then it'd be the Golf GTI, because it just does everything, doesn't it?
Yep.
So it's, if we have to be sensible, but we don't want to be sensible, so and I think out of all of them, if I had to go and drive there this weekend, Saturday being sunny, Sunday being rainy, I think I'd take the Mercedes.
Nice.
Just because I think it'd be hilarious. I mean,
I tell you what, at the speeds you will achieve, you have all the time in the world to look at the landscape. You don't have to focus that much on the road, do you?
that's it.
It's just nice, window down, elbow out. And
Yeah,
you just,
I think this one's been
take your
pimped
time.
a little bit as well. It's got funky
Ooh.
windows and like blue front windows. I'd probably get stopped every 2 minutes by the police. And
Awesome.
it's got like a beige interior. But yeah, I'm thinking.
Is it a road trip if you don't get a fine?
I mean, it looks like he's got a Ferrari badge hanging out of his, and he's upgraded the satellite navigate. Yeah, I'd take this.
Yeah.
You know he's
Ferrari
got.
badge.
Yeah,
Plus 10 horsepower.
you know he's got a sound system in it. So when you break down, you can listen to something well. Coming to get you.
You put the volume up and you lose 20 horsepower.
What was it? I did have a car once that when you put the air conditioning on, it slowed down. Because air conditioning does take a bit of power, but modern cars you don't notice it. But yeah, I had a car once and it's
smaller engine, yeah, definitely. If you want to go uphill, you have to be hot. It's not enough.
I've also had some cars where you had to keep the heating on to keep the engine down, because if your car gets so hot and you put your engine, if you put your heating on full, it sucks the heat out of the engine. I've had that a couple of times.
That's your head gasket kind of on its way out, and you're like, do I repair it or do I drive with the heating on? Yeah.
That might have been the Ford Cougar that I had for 7 days before the engine blew up. But fun and games. We'll have to talk about cars that have blown up at one point. Top 10 cars that have blown up on us.
I've had a fair few.
Cool.
Including one that blew up abroad. That was a bit embarrassing. But yeah.
So yeah, thanks for that. I think there's some fun cars there. Again, if anyone wants to comment what cars they'd pick if they had 20 grand for a trip to Wales, whether they'd own the car or just borrow it for the weekend, do that. And then what have we got on? So next Friday is Easter?
Getting close.
Yeah, something like that. So are we doing one next Friday? I kind of feel like we are.
We're doing one next Friday. We've got, I think, a convertible challenge, but it cannot be an MX-5.
That's the one. Convertible. Yeah. And of course, I've already picked half the convertibles that I love, so that'll be interesting. So yeah, again, anyone else? What's the budget for that one?
Hey?
What's the budget for that?
I think it's a 20 grand again, but we can make it 10 if you want a good challenge.
Yeah, let's go 10 grand. 10 grand.
Yeah, it's 10 grand convertible, not an MX-5.
Not an MX-5. And where are we taking this one?
Scotland.
Scotland.
Why not?
Oh, it's going to have a thermal roof. Or heated seats. The heated seats is... Yeah.
They do have the sun up there sometimes, It doesn't happen often, but they do have sunshine up there sometimes.
Yeah.
Tell you what, while we're talking about a road trip, it's pretty much a good idea now to remind people we are organizing a road trip this summer, actually, in a Peak District. So obviously, you'll have all of the details linked below in this video. But if you want to have a little bit more information about our weekends in the Peak District, if you want to join us on a drive up there, we'll go through some of the Peak District's best roads. We'll go through some of the cutest villages. There'll be a little bit of everything for everyone. And we have, I believe, 9 spaces available. Is that correct?
So some spaces have gone, so we'll have to double check, but we've still got some spaces. So yeah, let us know. Really, really nice hotel spa booked for the location with a nice thermal heated outdoor pool. And then obviously a really good meal on the last night as well.
And they get to see us in speedos then, which is a bonus really.
budgie smugglers.
But
Maybe
it's
not.
good value for money up until they see us in speed.
That's it. Yeah, that's where they ask for the money back as soon as they do that. And then we'll get into our cars. I don't know what we're wearing around the pool. So yeah, no, thanks again for your
I
time.
am currently just wearing a t-shirt, by the way. I'm naked below the desk.
That's it.
Just to let you know.
Cool. Oh, I've got another invite from Anis, but I'm going to park that because we'll be going offline in a second. But yeah, thanks for everyone for catching up, and yeah, we'll catch up with you all soon.
Speak to you later. Bye-bye.
Bye.